Welcome to West Virginia Beer Roads, a podcast all about beer from a West Virginia perspective. I'm Erin McCoy, here with my podcast partner, Charles Bockway.
Thanksgiving is certainly one of America's favorite holidays, and arguably the favorite food-focused holiday. And even though a lot of us won't be spending the holidays with a house full of people this year and family, we still have beer. And nothing pairs with a hearty Thanksgiving dinner better than beer. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Erin McCoy?
I would absolutely agree with that. Obviously, you know how much I love beer.
So to have some fun and to give some useful ideas for this holiday season, we have 6 West Virginia brewers who are going to give you their recommendations for Thanksgiving beer and food pairing.
Tonight we have for you a great group of brewers. We're excited to talk with them and get their recommendations. We have High Ground Brewing, Bad Shepherd Beer Company, Stumptown L's, The Peddler, Weathered Ground Brewing, and FREEFOK Brewery.
And first up, let's get with it. Dallas Wolf from High Ground Brewing in Terra Alta. Dallas, welcome to West Virginia Beer Roads.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so you're the first one. So start us off with your beer and food pairing for this Thanksgiving.
Well, this one's pretty easy for us. We just made our second attempt at coffee train. So we have our popular cold train. It's a Baltic porter, and this year we decided to steep it in some espresso beans, and turned out great. So we've done a lot of different coffee beers. We've had pumpkin spice latte beer, and we've had coffee beer with cream and sugar and all that, but this one is more like a black coffee. So I think there's nothing really better that pairs with black coffee than something sweet. So I was going to say pumpkin pie is going to be the obvious choice for pairing with coffee train. Because it's just, it's a perfect, it really does taste like black coffee with a little bit of the cold train that you love. And it's not too heavy, so, it'll pair really well as far as how they complement each other. Be available in cans coming to you soon in Morgantown and Huntington and select places in Charleston. So we'll be hopefully getting that out here soon.
That's great. So it's cold train and it's cold train porter, right?
Yep, coffee train is the.
Coffee train porter, because it's the one with coffee.
Yep, that's right. It's a train carrying coffee. So.
Now, are there any other beers that'll be out for Thanksgiving weekend that you'd like to bring attention to at the tap room?
Yeah, we've got Between Us Girls Singapore SLING. So we've been doing a series of sours that are a little less sour than most other sour beers that you've had out on the market. They're kind of a nice balance between traditional sweetness and sourness. This one is Singapore SLING, which is a popular craft cocktail that you can get out there, and this one's tastes just like it. We put some juniper berries in it to kind of simulate the gin, which that would go good with your main course, I think, because it's nice and light, it's easy drinking, and it won't clash too hard with all that heavy Thanksgiving food. And
your tap room hours for the holiday period pretty standard, but on Facebook, what do you recommend? Yeah, Facebook's the best place to look. We might have some altered hours. We actually had to actually close the tap room today due to COVID exposures, and we're waiting on some testing to come back with our employees. So we're really kind of in a holding pattern. So we're hoping that the tap room will be open by Thanksgiving. So fingers crossed, hopefully everybody's okay. Okay. Now, one final thing. I'd like to ask you to tell our listeners something you're thankful for this Thanksgiving, and also maybe make one wish for our world or our area this year. What would it be? Well, first and foremost, I'm thankful for my family, and my, I don't know if everybody's aware, but I just recently had a kid. We just had a baby about a month ago, so I'm really thankful to have a healthy child that we getting to spend a lot of good time with. And then, of course, obviously my extended family, which is the High Ground community and employees. So I can't do it without both the fans and, of course, the employees. We've got a small, tight-knit team,
and literally everybody at High Ground is completely important to the success of the organization. And so I'm really thankful to just be surrounded by great people and a good community, and just craft beer, West Virginia craft beer in general. It's just such a great community. So I'm thankful to be a part of that. So I got a lot to be thankful for this year. I know that coronavirus has put a kind of a little black cloud over everybody, but in the midst of that, I still have quite a lot to be thankful for this year.
Well, thank you, Dallas, for your contribution with the Coffee Train Porter and High Ground Brewing Company in Terra Alta, West Virginia.
Ross Williams of Bad Shepherd Beer Company. How about you talk to me about your food and beer pairing for Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. Really excited about new can option, Mystery Hole. Some great local art from Jimbo Valentine in Huntington, West Virginia. So,
nice.
Just in love with this can. I think it's really cool. So black IPA, fairly dry, bitter, kind of thing, and strong enough to stand up to chocolate pecan pie, which is super sweet. I mean, regular pecan pie too, just a super sweet pie. And I definitely have a sweet tooth. I try to limit it these days. My dentist as a kid loved me. But yeah, you need something sweet to pair with a beer like that. So that's my pick for that.
Okay, great. Can you tell me about some things maybe coming up in your tap room that may also be upcoming beers for the holiday?
Yes, absolutely. Have our Stroop waffle. Doing the Stroop waffle for, I guess, the 3rd or 4th year. I'd have to look back. It's 3 or 4 years. So this year's a little different. No vanilla this year. A little more cardamom, and about the same cinnamon as last year.
What about your holiday hours as far as your brewery and people coming in to buy things?
Generally, we're open 7 days a week these days. It's just Sundays, it's limited hours, it's just 11 to 3 and brunch only. The rest of the week, the restaurant's open 11 to 9. So.
Okay. How about, since it is Thanksgiving, you talk about if you have a Thanksgiving wish and something that you might be thankful for.
Okay. I think all of us in the craft beer community are thankful for the people who continue to seek out local beer however they can get it. Whether they have to drive a little bit to get cans, coming in for growlers, it's the dedicated people like that who don't just buy the easy go-to beer, that actually seek out their local beer. Really thankful for those folks, because without them, I don't know what we'd be doing right now. It's been a challenging time, I think, for everyone in this industry, but craft brewers especially. So very thankful for those folks. As for a Thanksgiving wish, I'm a brewer at heart, man. I want something shiny made of stainless steel. I don't know what it is, but I'll take anything. A canning line, a nice little bottle filler.
All right. Well, that is Ross Williams of Bad Shepherd Beer Company talking about his Thanksgiving beer, Mystery Hole. Please go in and pick it up for your holiday.
Okay, let's move on. We're going up to the mountains of Tucker County right now to Stumptown Ales. We have John Robeson, and I think he has Cindy Robeson there with him. Welcome, guys.
Hello, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. So let's get started. Go ahead and let us hear your special beer and food pairing for this Thanksgiving.
Well, mine is inspired by one that I've heard over the years many times that I've never tried before, but this experiment is going to push us to do so. It's an IPA carrot cake combination that I hear is mind-blowing, and I'm going to recommend our Six-Legged Frog IPA to go along with the carrot cake. Apparently, the sweetness of the cake is cut nicely by the bitterness of an IPA, and a good fruity IPA is the one that you would look for, because apparently that melds well with the cream cheese frosting of the cake as well, to really just have a mind-blowing experience from what I understand. So I've always wanted to try that, and I've talked Cindy into baking a carrot cake this year for our Thanksgiving. So we're going to give it a go, and I hope that other people will too.
All right, say the name of the beer one more time for me.
Six-Legged Frog IPA.
Just Six-Legged Frog. And okay, I think, well, I know you guys make a lot of other beers too. And so do you have any other ones special for this weekend coming up for the Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah, I think that another beer that we have that's going to be on tap that sort of fits in with the holidays is our Black and CRAN SMOOTH-EEZ. It's our fruited sour. It's filled obviously with a lot of blackberry and cranberry puree and nice and tart. So of course the cranberry fits in well with the Thanksgiving theme. And we've got our dark beers rolling as well on the taps. We just picked up 5 inches of snow here yesterday, so we're already into the cold season. So we've got our breakfast stout rolling, and we've got our stout from our barrel-aged stout Victor that will also be going. And we also have a brand new IPA called STRALAXY, that's Strata and Galaxy hops, that'll be out too. That's along the lines of Six-Legged Frog. It's just different hops and some different flavors. So we've got some different things going on along with a lot of the old standbys.
That sounds like some great beers for the weekend. Cindy, the hours at the tap room pretty standard. What are you planning?
Yeah, usually with COVID, we've been closed on Wednesdays, but Thanksgiving week, we are going to open on Wednesday, close on Thursday, so everybody can be home. And then Friday and Saturday, we will be open our COVID hours, which is 4 to 9.
Okay, great. And let's go into what your guys' wish for this Thanksgiving is, and also any thing you're thankful for, I want to say.
Well, I think that probably a lot of people are going to go along these lines, but just thankful for our health and safety at this point. As you might well know, Cindy had to go through COVID last month, and a lot of this just puts everything else in perspective. We're here today talking about beer and food, but our health and well-being is number one, and so just being thankful for our health and well-being, and wishful for a darn vaccine to get here as soon as possible so we can get past this.
Well, that's a great wish. Hey, and thanks guys for coming on today. And that's Stumptown Ales, John and Cindy Robeson with Six-Legged Frog for this Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
So now let's talk to Jay Fox of The Peddler and see what's happening with him and what he's going to suggest to us for his pairing for Thanksgiving.
Well, I've always been a fan of not pairing things or telling people what to drink and what not to drink. So we have our Cautious Granny, just kegged it this week. It's our spice holiday ale. It's got cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, clove, orange peel. So pretty heavy beer, 8.3%. I don't know, I'm a savory guy. I'm never like, if I'm putting something sweet in my mouth, it's typically probably a beer. So I would definitely do this with ham. I'm not a turkey person, so we're doing ham this year. And I think the spice in this would go really well with a big piece of ham. Or some cranberry salad. Maybe some of the bitterness from the cranberry would cut the sweetness a little bit.
Both really great suggestions. Sounds good. How about other up and coming things maybe that you're going to have available to people to purchase?
We also just released a beer called Son of a Peacher Man. It's a peach wheat. If you like peach rings, very bright, very peachy beer. people are loving it right now. So pick up a can of that while you're down at the brewery. And we have a new plum sour coming out next week. Hopefully I can get that keg before the Wednesday. So we're closed Thursday. So stop in, get some beers that get you through family time.
That was going to be next. As far as like holiday hours, as you said, you're closed. Obviously, what are you normal operating hours for next week?
So I'm not real sure about the hours, but it's 11 to question mark. I'll say that.
All right, that's fair enough. And obviously, in regards to Thanksgiving, if you could talk about something that maybe you're personally thankful for or wish that you may have.
Yeah, I'm going to go along with everyone else here. I'm really thankful for my family. I have a great family. Lots of love around me, and great staff, and all these West Virginia brewers that are like putting out killer stuff, and just happy to be part of that community.
Agreed.
A wish for the area, I guess. I hope we can all get through this and be more resilient in the end from all this stuff. But let's get this done.
I think we're all definitely in that same boat.
Yeah.
So Jay Fox of The Peddler is going to have Cautious Granny up and available for whomever wants to stop in and pick some up. So go see them.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Sam Fonda from Weatherground Brewery in Coolidge, West Virginia. So welcome, Sam.
Howdy.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, let's get you started then. What's your featured food and beer pairing for this Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm gonna copy Jay, I guess, and go with the main course. We have a smoked lager out that I'm a huge fan of, and it's called SMOLDER BOCK, and it's an amber colored lager that we use oak smoked wheat in, and I just love this beer, and I think it pairs great with turkey and or ham, like Jay said. And not to compete with the Peddler, but I think it just goes great with the main course. It's kind of a strong flavor, so it might be wise, if you're sitting around the table with your family, to split a couple of cans in small portions to kind of decide on it before you just go for it, because a lot of people aren't a fan of smoked beers. But it's kind of one of those you love it or you hate it type of beers. But I love it, and I think it goes great with a ham or a turkey. And I'm really proud of it, and it's out there on the market right now, and I hope people seek it out.
Sounds great. Hey, any other beers you want to bring people's attention to for the tap room this Thanksgiving weekend?
Sure. So as far as freshness goes, we've canned some fresh IPAs recently. Our old West Coast IPA, we just canned that again. It's sort of a throwback crystal clear IPA in the can right now if you buy it, and it's full of Citra hops and Amarillo hops. And this one's been a lot of fun for me, and it's tasting great. We just came out with our breakfast stout Struggle Street. It's on tap in the tap room, and yeah, we've got a full board with a lot of options. As the colder weather is coming in here in Coolidge, we're working on some things to make it more accessible for more seating. Our back patio, we've added some heaters and we're getting some plastic flaps so we can have a few tables out there. And then we're opening back up our event space room with some new furniture and some spaced out seating, so we can try to get some more people in there that are spaced out and comfortable. And
that's lots of good news, or lots of interesting news there from the brewery. And for the holiday weekend hours, best place? Maybe check Facebook or your website. I mean.
Yep. So the holiday weekend, the best place to check right now is Facebook. We pretty much post on there every day, and so but we are closed Thursday for Thanksgiving, but everything else is exactly the same, except for Wednesday is going to be actually to-go beer only. So if you want to come in and buy some cans and buy some crowlers to go, but our kitchen will be closed and we will not be open for you to come in and sit and have a beer.
Okay. So
our kitchen manager is in need of a vacation, and so we're giving it to him.
Okay. And now it's your turn, Sam, to tell our listeners something that you're thankful for this Thanksgiving season, and also if you want to provide or make a wish for our area.
Man, just like everybody else has said, just thankful for all of our these restaurants that are keep buying our beer, but then that trickles down into the customer base of craft beer enthusiasts in the state that are just making a strong effort to keep everybody in business, and just really thankful for that. My brother-in-law just had a baby 2 days ago, so I'm thankful for a new family member. And Erin Jane is super pregnant right now, so I'm thankful to be welcoming a new family member, another new baby into our family, and just really, really happy right now. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in the world, and we just wish that everybody gets through this together, and just stays strong and just gets through this pandemic, and we can, get back to the way things were. That's what my wish is.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And remember, Smolder Bock Smoked Lager. It's a little different kind of beer, and I like the idea that you paired a little different beer with the main course there. Thank you.
So Jeff Edwards with FREEFOK Brewery. We are very excited to hear what you have for your Thanksgiving pairing for food and beer.
Yeah, today I have a butternut squash brown ale that we brewed. We've used 150 pounds of roasted honey butternut squash along with some chicory root. And what we created was a beer that I think is appropriately caramel and sweet, but also has some smokiness in it, and just enough bitterness to make you realize that it's a beer, not dessert. But I think it's a really nice beer. It's 5.8% alcohol, so it's not so bold that you can drink more than one, or not just a little sip. But and I think, and as far as the pairing goes, I think candied yams or something sweet, some that would pair sweetness with sweetness, and a little bit of cinnamon, and there is some chocolate notes in there and some cinnamon too. So I think it would do well with that.
And you said it was your butternut squash. Is that the name of the beer? It's
actually the Virginia Big-Eared Bat.
Okay.
I'll show you a little. Well, I can't really get. This is what we're called. And what we're trying to do is we're highlighting endangered species in West Virginia. The big-eared bat is one of the many federally endangered species that are here, that exist in West Virginia. And we did it in collaboration with the West Virginia Cave Conservancy. And then also we sourced the butternut squash and the chicory root from a local farm here in Fayetteville called New Roots. And they're, a local cooperative that are growing produce. And so we're trying to support them. That's our goal. But this beer in particular is part of a series of beers that we do called Wild and Free. And what we're trying to do is highlight federally endangered species in West Virginia. So the big-eared bat is just one of those. And that's the most recent release.
That sounds great.
Yeah, good beer.
How about anything else that you might want to highlight for the holiday?
We do. We actually, this weekend in the tap room, we're actually highlighting stouts all weekend. We have some from the Peddler. Let's see, from Bridge Brew, we have some stouts coming up. I'm trying to think who else we have. Oh, Short Story has a stout coming to us. High Ground. So we're trying to highlight stouts this weekend in the tap room. We've been doing a lot of pop-up kitchens. So we're like local chefs that are looking to start restaurants. We're not doing food, but we're allowing them to come in and use our kitchen. It's been a huge success. It's been a game changer for us here at the brewery. We don't have to focus on food, which I'm so glad for. It was a part of the job that I did not like. So we're just focused particularly on beer, and as a result, our beer has gotten better, but local people are able to show off their culinary skills. So it's been a big help. But the beer that we're releasing this weekend is called the ALLEGHENY ALLIGATOR, and it's a chocolate cherry chili stout. And here's the little preview of the logo. I don't know if it's hard to see, but
yeah.
But that's another endangered species. And it has, the beer is a spiced beer, and it just has enough. It gives you a little tingle on your lips of some spicy. The chilies provide a little tingle on your lips. It's a beautiful beer. Really proud of it. So yeah, it turned out really well.
Sounds delicious. How about your hours, your tap room hours, or whatever hours are going to be open for people to pick stuff up?
Yeah, Facebook's the place to look for us. I mean, we channel everything through Instagram and Facebook. We are closed Thanksgiving, and we're adjusting our hours just as, just like everybody else. The flow of information and kind of how things are ebbing and flowing is with the COVID, stuff. So we're trying to be as open as much as possible. But Facebook's the place to look.
Okay, sounds great. And of course, in the Thanksgiving holiday, do you have a Thanksgiving wish or something that you're thankful for that you'd like to talk about?
Yes. I mean, I have to say my staff, that people, Jim Way, Sarah Daugherty, Kyle, my wife, Sarah, the people around there that keep me excited about beer, because I'm a business-minded person. And in this time period that we're going through right now, like, this industry is tough, and so the folks around me, the people that are brewing and coming up with these great ideas like the Virginia big-eared bat and the Allegheny alligator and this, they're so excited about beer and they make me excited about beer. Sometimes I lose focus on like the whole, just keeping things afloat. But I'm thankful for those people around me that are excited about it. And I think that has to be the focus.
All right. Well, and that's Jeff Edwards of FREEFOK Brewery, and they have their butternut squash big-eared bat available for release.
Hey, so we're going to go back on with everybody. Dallas, you're on, and we're all on now, back on there. And just to wrap this up, I want to thank everybody. Anybody have a final comment? I don't know. You feel free. We got a second here.
Hey, I can't wait for festivals to get back on.
Same.
Yeah, me.
Well, I for one appreciate all the good information you provided beyond just the food pairing, beer pairing, brewery information, new beer information. It's good to hear. Don't want anybody to leave. If there's one you forgot and want to throw out, we got a chance now. Okay. Aaron, anything you have to close with?
Just thank you guys so much. I know it's hard to take time out of your schedule, especially this late at night, which was kind of my fault. I had vet appointments for my dogs. But anyway, thank you for taking the time. And we certainly are trying to promote West Virginia craft brewers, as you guys know, and we couldn't do it without you. So we appreciate it. And I hope, and of course, Charles hopes that you and your families have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, likewise. It's good to see all your all's faces. Happy to be part of this community. Cheers.
Yeah, it is a great community. So let me just say again, thank you to Dallas Wolf from High Ground Brewing in Terre Haute, Jeff Edwards, the FREEFOK Brewery in Fayetteville, John Robeson, Cindy Robeson from Stumptown Ales in Davis, Ross Williams from Bad Shepherd Beer Company in Charleston, Sam Fonda from Weathered Ground Brewery in Coolridge, and Jay Fox from the Peddler Brew Pub down in Huntington. Guys, thanks again. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next holiday, maybe.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, Aaron, we're back. Just the two of us. All of our
We are
brewers
back.
have gone back to brewing beer, and they left us to talk more about our beers and their beers. Maybe we can see what we like about that. No, hey, I think you even have a beer you'd like to recommend that you're thinking you're going to have with some of your Thanksgiving meal.
I think so, yes. And it's a non-West Virginia beer. It is a burial beer out of Asheville, North Carolina. It is called Empire of Eternal Nothings, and it is an imperial stout with toasted coconut, bourbon, vanilla, and double dipped in cocoa. So this is what I think would be fantastic with Thanksgiving. And
with what at Thanksgiving? That's a big beer.
It is a big beer at very large ABV, 15%. I would love to have this with, I'll do a very short background. My grandmother growing up made apple pie from scratch. And when I was a kid, she would make extra crust with sugar and cinnamon for me just to eat the crust while I waited on the pie to get finished. And it was fantastic. And they were old fashioned. And once the pie was finished, my grandfather would take his slice of apple pie with a piece of cheddar cheese. And once it came out warm, and then the cheese would melt. And I just think that little bit of sweet and salt would go fantastic with that stout. So that was my choice for Thanksgiving. That is non-West Virginia, just to, be fair.
Well, no, I mean, beer is beer. And I also have a beer from far away, but it's just something I really like with Thanksgiving meal, because
tell me about it.
It's a beer that really has this nice, strong effervescence that kind of works that fat off your tongue when you eat all that gravy on your dressing. And that sage dressing goes so well with these saisons. In this particular saison, it's the classic saison. It's Saison DuPont. It's from Belgium, and it has a real nice, spicy, peppery flavor. It's got the classic, just essence of these Belgian yeasts that are in the saisons. And anyway, it just got all this stuff that's so nice with that herby, gravy-soaked stuffing. I don't know how to say it other than that. I mean, it's a great beer combo.
It sounds fantastic. And I love Belgian beers as well. So sounds good. We're going to have quite the Thanksgiving with all of the information we got this evening with all the brewers, and then our own little suggested pairings. I think it's a lot of information that people are going to enjoy.
Yeah, we're going to have folks, just to remind people, there'll be a list up also on the Brilliant Stream website, brilliantstream.com, that'll list all these now 8 beers, 6 West Virginia beers from our West Virginia brewers, and the 2 more that we threw in just for fun. So
happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too. And happy podcasting, and happy, I hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving and a nice holiday.
And a safe and healthy one as well.
This brings us to the close of another podcast. Remember, you can subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast host. Thank you for listening to West Virginia Beer Roads.
West Virginia Beer Roads is a production of BrilliantStream.com.